Hello, my name is Selena, and I'm going to be sharing with you the books that I loved the most, or the books that made the biggest impact on me in this year, in 2013. So let's get started. First off, I wanted to say Archetype the Thief is awesome. I already did a review on this, so I've already gushed quite a bit about this book, but what I liked the most about this book was the world building and just the unique take on fairy tale retellings. So, good book. Check it out if you haven't already. Archetype the Thief. Next up is FanGirl by Rainbow Rowell, and I found myself just smiling pretty much the whole time while reading this book. Great read. Kath is a wonderful character. It makes me excited to read more of Rowell's writing. Although I'm waiting for them to come out of paperback. I got this at a used bookstore, so that's why I picked it up in hardcover. But yeah, so waiting for Eleanor and Park to come out in hardcover. See if that happens. I think attachments is so. 2014, those are some goals, right? Read more Rainbow Rowell. But yeah, I loved FanGirl, and I loved the way that the Simon Snow writings are kind of woven in to tell the story of Kath and her kind of coming out into the world. So I think that is awesome. And from one fangirl to another, I totally got where Kath was coming from. Next was a book that I picked up because of BookTube. I just started BookTubing this year, and around October, September, and I heard so many people talk about this book, so I picked it up and bought it. Ready Player One. I love this book. It was just epic, and it was all over the place. But not in a bad way. It was just like real world, and then you're in the gaming world, and the villains were pretty cool, but the way that the story was written and the way that it just made me feel like I was immersed in this world, and I felt like I'm the one trying to find these clues, and yeah. Oh my gosh. And then the 80s references galore. I mean, go 80s. I'm an 80s baby, so that was fun. Next is Ender's Game, and this was my very bad mass market edition that is falling apart, but I read it this summer to get ready for the movie, and I loved this book. I, again, felt so immersed in this world, and I did not see the end coming, and Ender seems to be such a unique and complex character, and I want to read more in the series. I've heard that some of the sequels are from Bean's perspective, so that might be interesting, but I do want to read more of the books that are from Ender's perspective, and I think there is at least one other that's from Ender's perspective. So, but yeah, I truly enjoyed the book and recommended it to a student of mine at the Boys and Girls Club who read it and loved it, and so now we have that to talk about, which is great. A book that was recommended to me by a student, Divergent by Veronica Roth. Let me tell you, I flew through this because I was just so, can I use the phrase, the word enraptured? And I loved it. I thought it was such a great story, and Triss is such a great character, and yeah, love the story. It got me interested again in young adult literature, and yeah, it made me want to read it over and over and quickly, and so I read this as quick as I could, and then I jumped right into Insurgent, and then Allegiant. When that came out, I was ready for it, and yeah, the whole series was good, but if I had to pick one, this one was my favorite, and I probably would reread this one more often than any of the other two in the series. And the last book, that's my favorite of 2013, is Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. this book got me out of a huge reading slump. So, excuse me. So after finishing my graduate school studies, whatever, and I got my master's, I went into a huge reading slump. I mean, I didn't read for almost a year, and that's sad to say. Which is why I joined the BookTube community, because I knew how much I loved reading, but I just wasn't reading. So I was watching people talk about how much they loved books and what books they really loved, and I was like, you know what? Let me just get right into it. And I saw this at Barnes& Noble and picked it up and loved it. It reminded me why I liked reading and why books are so important to me. And so that's one thing. And then the storyline was just creative, and I love the way that it interwove current technology with past technology, and then the secret society, and it was just a great, great telling. I loved it, and I think my edition glows in the dark. Yeah. So I turned up the lights one time while holding the book, and the books, which are like this, like neon yellow, were glowing. So I don't think the paperbacks do, but I think the hardcover does. So those are the books that I loved the most, or that I enjoyed reading the most in 2013. Let me know down below, if you haven't already made a video, what books you loved the most in 2013. If any of those are on your list to read in 2014, let me know, because I would love to talk to you about these books. Yay. Bye. Happy New Year.